Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of United Talk. We just first of all like to give a nice shout out to all the people who watched the first two episodes. Big thanks, and we hope that we were able to amuse you. Alright, in today's episode we'll be talking about United's game against Arsenal and against Braga, and we'll be talking about some other games as well. So, let's get to start off with the Arsenal game. What do you think, Annie? 2-1.
Hey guys. The Arsenal game I thought was quite strange. It was played at a much slower pace than the Chelsea game last week, and the finishing from United was very poor. We missed a lot of chances to put the game to bed. I think a lot of complacency was born out of the fact that Arsenal were, quite frankly, abysmal. Their build-up play was so slow. We were able to shackle Cazorla very effectively. Arteta had a game to forget.
Cazorla who, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, Valencia could have attacked Santos more because he was having a shocker. He seemed more interested in taking RVP's jersey. But again, talking about RVP, his first goal, it was barely a half chance. Vermaelen's made a mistake and suddenly it's in the back of the net. It's incredible finishing.
All of 24 million. Yeah. All of 24 million.
Yeah, incredible finishing from an incredible player. And Rooney missed a penalty. It's disappointing. We've struggled from the spot this season, but I don't think it has cost us yet because we won versus Galatasaray when Nani missed. We won versus Wigan when Hernandez missed. Won versus Southampton when RVP missed, and now again versus Arsenal. But
I recently read an article that Fergie said that he'll take the next penalty, seeing as no one's able to get on target.
Yeah, he also said that he thought Giggs was the best penalty taker at the club,
and he is, I think.
Yeah, and that he's going to bring Giggs on next time when there's a penalty, like American football. What about you? What did you think about the game?
There's a lot to like in the Arsenal game. There's a lot to dislike. United kept possession well. The pace was slower. However, I think it suited the game, the pace that United were playing at. Yeah. And I think instead of playing Arsenal's game, United played their own game and forced Arsenal to play their game, which resulted in almost complete dominance.
Yeah.
De Gea was barely tested. Yeah. And, the team played exceptionally well, I thought. Only that didn't convert chances, but that's going to come. The more chances we make, we'll end up converting them.
That's true.
So, for a United fan, this was a good game.
Yeah, and
I really enjoyed it.
Who were your top three players from the game?
Top three players. Well, I had RVP, of course.
Yeah.
First, he sniffs blood and he attacks.
Yeah.
He's like a lion. Great finish, gets half a chance when Vermaelen slips and volleys it home with his weaker right foot.
Yeah, incredible.
And the fact that he didn't celebrate against his old club shows what a class player he is, how mature he is, and how much respect he has for the game of football and both the clubs he's playing for.
Yeah.
I also really liked all of United midfield. It was so difficult to pick the next two players. I'm going to pick Michael Carrick.
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic, just breaking up attacks, keeping possession.
Yeah, he was. He really seemed active for a change.
Yes, I think Michael Carrick has finally realized that this is his midfield. It's time to assert himself on the game.
I agree. Yeah.
And I think he did that to near perfection against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Very efficient defensively and very, with good ball distribution and attack.
Yeah.
And for my third player, I have to give it to Anderson. Granted, he was on the pitch for less than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But those were a good 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think he was able to take good advantage of Arsenal's lack of mobility in midfield, especially after Wilshere's dismissal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he really ran the show for United. I think Carrick took a back foot, and Anderson was all over the place.
Yeah, we discussed this last week as well, that after the Chelsea game, that he has the ability to sort of move forward and drive from midfield.
Yeah, great acceleration.
Yeah,
yes.
And he came on against Arsenal, and he was having fun. He was really enjoying himself.
What really impressed me was Anderson's great range of passing. I saw him play quick, short passing. I saw him play nice, long, sweeping balls to the flanks.
Yep.
And I think, if Anderson is able to keep up this rate of play, I think he should be a starter sooner or later.
Yeah. Sure.
I was really impressed by him. I was looking through my notes and everywhere it's Anderson.
Yeah, and Fergie said he wants to give him more game time because he wants to improve.
And he should, yes, based on these performances, definitely. Yeah. So how about you, Andy? Top three?
Well, it's got to be Rooney's got to be in there. I think he ran the game. Disappointing with the penalty miss, but he was very impressive even defensively. Just like again in the Chelsea game, he was getting back, he was making tackles, he was distributing the ball, starting attacks.
He's loving this free role.
Yeah, he really is. And I'm loving watching him and play like that. And I also thought, just like you, that Carrick was brilliant. It's like he heard someone saying after the Chelsea game that he doesn't tackle enough, and he was intercepting passes, he was slide tackling, he was cutting out their play, and some of his distribution could have been better, I thought, but he just gave it to Rooney and sat back, and that's fine. And
That's his job, and he's done it well.
yeah, and lastly, I thought Evra. I mean, I love the fact that he's such a short guy, but he's scoring headers from corners, and
Two goals already this season.
yeah, he has scored one in the last 3 years before this, so he's got a great leap on him. I think that's something that's underrated about his game.
And for a short guy, especially,
Yeah,
he's got
yeah,
good.
that's kind of Cannavaro-esque, the way he can jump really high, and
Evra really impressed me as well. Like I said, it's so difficult to pick the top three when United dominated this game.
Yeah,
but yeah, Evra was exceptional as well. Very well done.
True. And what did you? Of course, we had another game in midweek versus Braga, Champions League, away from home. What do you make of that?
Well, 1 point was required for guaranteed qualification and 3 for top place.
Yeah.
And I think United in the first half were, in a word, complacent.
Yeah.
I think they weren't showing nearly enough spirit. It was almost as if they were playing for a draw. And, Braga were, I think, definitely the more active team. Although the first half, to be honest, was rather boring.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Low pace, lethargic, there's nothing really much going on. United were content to sit back, invite pressure.
Yeah.
And we were back to the diamond formation for this game.
Yeah.
I guess Fergie's not learning, is he? Maybe he's got a master plan, but right now I can't see any in the horizon.
But I thought also the disappointing aspect of our players, Danny Welbeck. I think he's been absolutely woeful.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny, credit to him. He's a Manchester lad, born and bred. But with these kind of performances, I mean, it's going to make it more difficult for Ferguson to justify picking him ahead of Hernandez or RVP or Rooney, who have been performing so well.
True.
And this height of competition in the squad should force Welbeck to become better than he is.
Yeah.
Potential is potential, but you got to perform when given the
chance.
chance.
I think signing RVP is at a reverse spectrum because he seems to have lost some confidence that he gained from last season when he did really
Yes, but if you look at Hernandez, he's picked his game up.
Yeah, true.
He knows the meaning of competition.
True.
He knows what it means that RVP is here.
True.
And he's performing whenever called upon.
True.
He's not moaning while starting.
Yeah.
He comes on, he scores.
Yeah.
But I think Welbeck needs to buck up and buck up fast. Otherwise, he'd be, probably be sent on loan again.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think he has this problem with decision making because he runs far too much with the ball and then he loses it and then he always picks the wrong option and he's got a good physical presence about him, but he seems to think that he can go past people like Ronaldo or Messi when he can't. He doesn't have that kind of touch. And he's also he lacks composure in front of goal, unlike Hernandez and RVP,
Yeah, those guys are born finishers.
Yeah.
I think Welbeck is more of a, physical, not masterpiece, but something close to that. I think he's both fast and has got a good leap.
Yeah.
But his balance is a bit off.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
also I think his decision making, his football IQ, that's going to come with time.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, it seems rather unfair to accuse Welbeck of not playing well. On the other hand, though, he's got this competition. He's got these players he can learn from.
Yeah.
He should really be improving at a rapid pace,
True.
especially in a big club like United, where the youth has always been the focus of the team.
Yeah, true.
Welbeck needs to improve.
Yeah, true. Well, and the game in general, I thought, what did you make of RVP's goal?
Keeper made an error.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he didn't, but, not many players could have converted from 25 yards.
Yeah, I thought his finish was, he made it look much easier than it was.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
yes. I think very, very technical when it comes to striking the ball.
Yeah, and then a lot of people are really impressed by Oscar's goal versus Shakhtar, and I thought RVP's finish was actually harder because he was hitting it on the run and he had to curl the ball in basically because it was going away from him. And it was a strange game. We took a lot of time to get going, and that goalkeeper has made some howlers even for the third goal. I don't know what he's doing, but
no. But the thing is, what has been United's Champions League campaign this season is they need to kick up the backside before they actually get going.
Yeah,
it's like almost like they need a shock, a stimulus to actually get them back into the game. I mean, come on, Van Persie equalized in the 80th minute?
Yeah.
3 goals in 10 minutes, while it's great for any football game, the fact that it's coming in the last 10 minutes is, something United needs to work on.
Yeah, we need to address that, definitely.
Exactly. And, I think Rooney slipped a bit while taking the penalty, but it was a nice
He slipped
penalty.
before the penalty as well to get it. I mean, that's a dive. I don't think that's a penalty, in all honesty.
I don't know. It looked like there was a little bit of contact, but
I think he's made the most of that, and it's surprising because I haven't
Yes.
seen him dive in quite a while now, and I was a bit surprised that it was a bit disappointing that he had to do that.
And then Chicharito Hernandez completed the route.
Barely. It was a shocking goal. I don't know what he was doing there.
Hey, 3 points, first place in the Champions League group. I'm happy
Yeah.
because after last year,
True.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
I'm
we've
one-
had a bit of determination about us this year in the Champions League that we're not going to let it slip, and that's good to see.
exactly. Finish it and finish it fast. The 2 games left, send the reserves. We'll be focusing on the Premier League for now.
True. And I mean, who were your top 3 performers for that game? You'd say?
Oh, it's so difficult to pick. But the opposite reason than from the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
I'll pick RVP for that one moment of brilliance.
Yep.
I'll pick Chicharito for the 3rd goal, and I thought he looked rather active throughout the game.
Yeah.
More or less.
Mhm.
And I'll pick Chris Smalling, coming back from injury
Yeah.
and against, Braga's attacking lineup isn't that bad,
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're a good team. Yeah.
Yeah, many teams, they've got a pretty good attacking lineup, and I think Chris Smalling was more or less solid at the back, even though he did pick up a booking.
Yeah.
Still very, very solid in the back, and it's an encouraging return from injury.
Yeah.
And it's a nice return now that Vidic is out till December.
Yeah.
Smalling,
Yeah, I was
really
very
behind
happy to
him.
see Chris Smalling come back into it, and my top 3 is exactly the same as yours.
Same, right? Yeah, there weren't many to pick, were there?
Yeah, it was a very strange game, and I'm just happy we got 3 points, like you said, and
Yes, first place in the group, qualification in the bag.
we'll take that. We'll take that exactly. And of course, what about the rest of the results in the Premier League? Over the weekend, we had Chelsea play Swansea, City away at West Ham, and Liverpool Newcastle. What did you make of those games?
Chelsea West Ham, a draw, which I think was a pretty good result. I would have preferred a West Ham win, of course.
Chelsea Swansea.
Oh, sorry, Chelsea.
Swansea versus Chelsea because it was in Wales.
Swansea versus Chelsea. I apologize. A draw, and I think, it was a good result.
Yeah.
I would have preferred Swansea to win.
Yeah.
And Chelsea to drop as many points as possible, so we could take a nice little lead into November.
Yeah.
But, it's a good result for United. As a United fan, I'm pretty happy, which means that United are top of the table now.
Yeah.
And 4 wins in a row, which is very, very encouraging.
True. I mean, I saw that game, and Chelsea seemed like they were going to give one of those, those typical performances we talk about, champions performance, where they don't play well and win 1-0.
They still, yes, nick points.
Yeah,
but only United
but
did that.
Swansea,
Come on.
They kept at it, and a great goal from Pablo Hernandez. Very well
exactly,
taken.
yeah.
And
I actually really like Pablo Hernandez as a player.
Yeah.
I can't understand why bigger clubs didn't snap him up from him. He was really good at Valencia when I saw him.
Yeah, no, they've done some great business in the market, Swansea.
Indeed. Michu, Pablo Hernandez, those are good players. I think Laudrup should be really...
Yeah, and they had a
great.
very impressive start of the season and then an incredible fall, and now they're sort of rebuilding their team again to get results.
That's good. Swansea is a nice team. I like to watch them play.
Yeah.
I think last season they were, called Swanzilona. Molding their style in the Barcelona play, but since Rodgers has left, they've still managed to keep up their relatively high standard of playing football.
Yeah.
I mean, football isn't just about points and goals; it's about the style of play and the way you win or the way you lose.
True.
And City drawing as well against West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham, I think, were unlucky. They should have had a goal, which is ruled out
Yes,
despite it being onside. Kevin Nolan with a great finish in the volley.
Yes.
And Balotelli had a shocker. He missed so many chances. And Gareth
I
Barry
recently read a fact that Balotelli is the Premier League player with the most number of shots on target without scoring. It's something like 25, 26 shots.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, here's a message to Mario. Mario, how about you stop setting off fireworks in your bathroom and actually come and score a few goals?
And it's interesting because last year, in the start of the season, he was scoring goals for fun.
Yes. Yeah, but all of City were. Aguero scored a double on debut, and Edin Dzeko was in great form.
True.
But this season, it's been Carlos Tevez who's been digging them out of holes.
Yeah, he has. He really has. And, he couldn't do anything anyway, then substituted, and Dzeko, Balotelli, Aguero, and then Balotelli came off, and they threw everything towards the end, but they just could not get a goal, and West Ham a good volley for the point, I thought.
Yeah. I still regret not buying Tevez. I mean, it haunts my nightmares every time Tevez scores for Man City.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that could have been a goal for United.
Yeah, it was.
He was brilliant in the 2 years he was.
Really wanted to sign Tevez, but Fergie didn't see the value.
Yeah, 25 million. It's a bit too much to ask for, but if you look at this guy, he's a 20-goal a season guaranteed player.
Mm-hmm.
And his work rate and stamina.
From going back to Argentina and playing golf, yeah.
Exactly, yes. But if anyone could do it, it would probably be Fergie.
That's true as well.
Management is his
Yeah.
strong pursuit. Also, Liverpool, Newcastle.
Yeah. Yeah.
A draw there as well.
Oh,
And two
I
great
thought
goals.
Newcastle were unlucky. They came with a game plan. They executed well. It was interesting. Kabai's goal, because Ben Arfa was running with the ball near the halfway line, and Newcastle bench started shouting, "Run at him! Run at him!" They wanted him to run at Enrique. He does that, crosses it in.
Yeah, of course.
Kabai scores, and Newcastle looked good value for their lead. They were pretty comfortable. Liverpool had a lot of possession, but they weren't really breaking them down. And
But then the danger man struck.
yeah, and after all this talk about Brendan Rodgers' style of keeping on the ground and trying to play like Barcelona, all they need is one long ball up to
One
Suarez.
long ball.
And
What a touch, though.
incredible skill from Suarez. Great control and the way he takes it on the keeper, his awareness of where Colaccini is. Fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. I think Suarez is, despite all his, bad qualities, handball at the World Cup, diving, all that, you can't deny his talent. That was sublime skill.
Yeah, he has
Don't
this
see that
incredible
nowadays.
talent in small spaces. He can turn on a six.
Yes.
Incredible.
And I think as a lone forward, I think he's close to excelling. I think he
Yeah.
has been head and shoulders above the rest of the squad
Yeah, definitely.
in terms of play. He's just been brilliant. He's been digging them out of holes consistently.
Definitely. Yeah, he needs more support from his midfield, but.
And Fabio Colaccini's tackle on him, absolutely dreadful.
Oh yeah,
I
that
mean,
was definitely a red card. Yeah.
I mean, had he caught him worse, that could have been the end of a season injury.
Yeah.
End of the season, but he got lucky. That was a dreadful challenge.
Yeah.
There's lots of action in the Champions League as well.
Yeah. Well,
We already
before
spoke about
Champions
United
League,
game.
I was interested by the Juventus versus Inter game at the weekend.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that first.
Yeah, and
Big
of course,
game, first versus second.
yeah, Derby d'Italia and Juventus losing their first game, 49
Unbeaten,
games free.
49, yes.
And well, it was I saw the game and it was strange because in the first 10 minutes Juventus were absolutely bossing it. They were flying and they
Scored early, didn't they?
after some good work from Asamoah on the wing, and Pirlo was orchestrating everything. Marchisio could have added another after a great ball from Pirlo. But Inter slowly grew into the game and they came back really well in the second half and ended up winning 3-1.
Exactly. Diego Milito on the double.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And yes, I think Inter have been kind of like the dark horses this season.
Yeah.
They haven't exactly made any big name transfers,
Yeah.
but they have made some transfers. Rodrigo Palacio, one of them. I think he scored as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yes, and I think Stramaccioni should really be given some credit. I mean, he picked up a team that was on the verge of absolutely imploding,
Mm-hmm.
and he's taken them to, 1 point to the off the top?
I think so.
Well, that's incredible, I think, and Inter have been playing very well this season in the Serie A. Of course, it's also been down to the rest of the Serie A being nowhere near their standards.
True. I think Serie A, they're struggling, especially in Europe. I think they will struggle quite a bit, the Italian teams.
Indeed, yes, they will. And okay, back to Europe now. Champions League, lots of action going on.
Yeah.
3 teams have already qualified for the last 16.
Yeah.
FC Porto,
Mm-hmm.
Malaga have qualified. By the way, the only Spanish team to have qualified so far. Incredible when you think about it.
Yeah.
And Manchester United, 4 wins out of 4. Very, very well done. Professional stuff.
Yeah, we are relieved by that. Yeah.
And there were some big games. Bayern beating Lille 6-1.
Yeah,
The hat-trick from Claudio Pizarro.
Yeah, who remembers him? He was a forgotten man, and he's come back and he's enjoying it in the Bundesliga again.
And that was a great hat-trick as well. He's got 3 shots on target, scored all 3. Very, very well done.
And he had a very poor time in Manchester City, didn't he? And
yeah, he did, but
gone back to the Bundesliga and he's
doing very well.
Yeah. And what did you make of the Celtic versus Barca game? Of course, on Celtic's 125th anniversary.
Oh my goodness. I could not believe my eyes when the final whistle was blown. My mind was going insane.
Yeah.
Here are Barcelona with 84% possession.
Yeah.
84%. That is impossible to understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Celtic come up with 16% possession.
Yeah.
5 shots compared to Barcelona's 23.
Yeah.
And they win 2-1. I think hats off to Celtic. They have been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. It was incredible.
Possession doesn't mean much when you can score 2 to the other team's 1.
Yeah.
And the 2 goals, the first one was a header from Vincent Wanyama, who has been making big strides in the Scottish League, and he's got the ears and eyes of the biggest clubs following him now. And United is supposed to be interested, but Celtic have placed 25 million on him.
Wow. Yeah.
So let's see what happens. I mean, 25 million is just an evaluation, though. They can go lower, they can go higher.
True. And I mean, the second goal as well, like, it was interesting. Xavi making a mistake of all people, and
hard to believe.
what a composed finish by an 18-year-old playing versus Barcelona.
Yes, the greatest team in the world is playing against you.
Yeah.
And here you are zipping away from one of the best right backs in the world in Dani Alves.
Yeah.
And just curling it past Victor Valdez, who is arguably one of the good keepers in the world,
Definitely.
if not the best.
Definitely.
And very, very impressive, I think, as a youngster as well, to do so well against a great team.
Yeah.
And the way Celtic held on, and Barcelona scored late on
Yeah.
with their 20-second shot.
I lost count of the amount of times they hit the post. And their Celtics goalkeeper, Prosper, I think he did a great job, actually.
Yeah, great job. Yes, very, very well done.
And he might get called up for England soon, the way he's playing.
Oh, and he definitely should as well. I mean, this team has been phenomenal. And on the 125th anniversary, what a gift to give.
True. And
very, very
of course, closer home in the Premier League teams, Man City again struggling in the Champions League, getting a draw versus Ajax 2-2, having to come back from 2-0 down. What did you make of that game?
Well, Ajax should have really been that group's whipping boys. I mean, you had three class teams. You had the champions of Spain, England, and Germany.
Yeah.
And, Ajax were a good team, of course, but they really should have been the whipping boy. You should have had three teams fighting it out for two spots.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you've got Man City just imploding amongst themselves.
Yeah.
You've got Real Madrid barely able to make it past other teams, and you have Borussia Dortmund topping the table.
Yep.
Who would have expected that? I mean, Real Madrid were great last season, reaching the semi-finals of the Champions League. City were great in the Premier League last season.
True.
And they arguably should have built more, seeing as they didn't get many transfers in.
True.
And the team chemistry should have increased. But here they are, performing poorly in both the Premier League and the Champions League.
Yeah, and the nature of the goals conceded, I think Mancini is really going to be really disappointed.
Should be very upset, yes. I mean, the tinkering is gone, but the goal is still coming in.
Yeah, and of course there was a lot of incidents near the end of the match. So a penalty would it have been given about Delhi, the goal from Aguero, which didn't stand for offside on Kolarov, and Mancini lost it. He came on the field. He was demonstrating with the officials.
And then Yaya Toure blaming the officials as well after the game.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have much sympathy for City, not just because I'm a United fan, but also because of the fact that the offside decision was a correct one. It's difficult for the linesman to see it, but he's seen it, and you can't question a correct decision. And the penalty, I thought Balotelli had as much hands over the Ajax defender as the other way around. What view did you take of those incidents?
Yeah, I think I'll have to agree with you there. I think in today's game it's really difficult to give penalties. I really sympathize with the referees, how difficult their job is.
Yeah.
I mean, the action is moving ridiculously fast. You have a split second to make a decision.
True.
But I think in this case he got it right. I think hands were all flying all over the place, and it would have been wouldn't have been a right decision to give the penalty.
Yeah.
And I think City need to buck up and fast. They're almost out.
Yeah, they are. I think it's pretty much over, barring a miracle, which I don't think they're capable of it, simply because of the way they've been playing so far. I don't see any reason why they can beat Dortmund away.
Exactly, yes. I think City fans should be pessimistic right now.
Yeah, and Ferguson made an interesting point. He said Dortmund are really having a go at the Champions League this year because they're fifth in the Bundesliga, and doing so well in the Champions League, clearly that means they're focusing on the competition. And
they should, I think.
Yeah, and it's really impressive. They lost Kagawa, and now they still managed to play at such a high level and getting an impressive draw in Madrid. Took a late goal for Madrid.
And against Real Madrid, I mean, this is one of the football, premier teams.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much harder than Real Madrid.
True, and I mean, Madrid are favourites for this competition in my eyes, and Dortmund really.
Yes, Madrid, Barcelona are definitely favourites.
Yeah. And what about our player salute for this week, AK? Would you like to do that?
I would indeed like to. Juventus versus Inter winning 3-1, and I've had my eyes on them for so long. Javier Zanetti and Diego Milito.
Yeah.
It was so difficult to pick one of them, so we just decided to salute them both.
Yes, we did.
Javier Zanetti, here's a guy who's got 813 appearances for Inter Milan.
Incredible.
813. Incredible.
Yeah.
He's been their captain for 13 years, since 99.
Yeah.
He has got 16 titles with them.
Wow.
I mean, he is the definition of a one-club man.
Yeah. He's also the most cap player in the Argentine national team.
Yes, I think 145 appearances, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible. And at the age of 39, to still be playing so well.
Yeah.
and still be playing as a utility man. You can play at right back, at left back, in central midfield, wherever you want him, he is there.
Yeah.
He is every manager's dream
True.
for a player.
True. True.
And of course, Diego Milito, the poacher extraordinaire.
Yep. Still
I mean,
going strong.
Indeed, yes. And I read an interesting fact that after Ronaldo and Messi, Diego Milito has scored the most number of goals in 2012 with 27 goals.
Yeah, league goals, right? Yeah.
Fantastic, yes. And you've got Ronaldo playing for Real Madrid and Messi playing for Barcelona, and those teams are filled to the brim with world-class players.
Yeah.
Then you've got Diego Milito playing for Inter, where the team isn't struggling so much.
Yeah.
Little to no creativity, and despite that, he has been digging them out of holes again and again and again.
True.
27 goals, very, very, very well done, Diego Milito.
Yeah,
and
I
think he deserves our player salute.
Definitely agree with those sentiments. I think they've both been fantastic servants for Inter, and to play at such a high level consistently, very impressive. Lastly, just want to do a shout out, guys. We want you guys to get involved with the show, so through comments or the feedback on Twitter or Facebook, what you'd like us to discuss or what you thought of the games that we've discussed. So please follow us on Twitter, United Talk, and subscribe to our channel, the United Talk on YouTube, and like us on Facebook. And hopefully see you guys next week for our next episode. Thank you.
Alright guys, see you.